Hey, welcome back. There is a storm brewing here right now, so you might hear some rumbles of thunder in the background, but it is perfect. Settle in with a cup of tea weather and build something. This is this is a Lumibricks set. I was going to say Funhole, that's what the brand used to be called, but this is the second Lumibricks set that I have built. This is the greenhouse, and they have integrated lights in them, so the lights come included, and it just adds a whole new dimension of amazingness to the build. And these are really I was going to say intricate. Intricate also makes me think of something that's really good, tricky. These are not that hard to build, but they're really, really interesting. They're really full, and there's lots and lots to do. So let's get into this and get started. We've got so many bags in this box. There's over 1,000 pieces in this set. I think it's $115 Australian on the website at the moment, but I got it when it was on sale for $90. So bargain. Okay, so these sets, the Lumibricks have their own figures. I mean, I'm not even a fan of the Lego minifigures so much. I'm a mini doll girl through and through, so I tend to just chuck out the figures and move figures on, and I move in my mini dolls. So this is Terrence, Paisley's granddad, and Paisley's going to come and help out at the farm too. This will be a wonderful addition to the Beekeeper set. Also, there's a whole farm series with Lumibricks as well, which I'm going to have to look into and see if I want to add them to my collection. There's a cheese shop, which I'm very, very tempted by because cheese is the best food ever. Okay, all right, so I've already built the base plate because that's pretty boring to watch. And also, by the way, there are printed pieces in this set, no stickers. Anything that has got any detailing on it is already printed onto the tiles, so very exciting if you hate stickers. Now, inside the greenhouse, there's the what do you call them? The pavers, the little tiles. There's a printed piece with a planting guide. So what seasons to put what vegetables into the garden, which I just love. Getting our pavers down on the inside. I adore this whole idea. There's going to be this long kind of skinny greenhouse, which is what greenhouses look like anyway, but because it's going to have lights, it's just going to bring it to a whole new level. So on one end, I think this is a succulent collection, or the more rare and fancy plants up here. So we got a couple in the jars, and then these ones here are there is a plant guide in the beginning of the book, but it doesn't have all of the things in, so I think you can just make some of this stuff up and pretend you know plants, which I don't. But this is the rare plant section of the greenhouse that you have to be nurtured and looked after extra specially carefully. And then we need to line all of the sides. I just adore that some of these bricks have got grooves in them, so little channels so that you can run wires through them nice and easily for the lighting, and then you're not squishing the wires, squishing the wires, because I've had experience with other lighting sets that you can add retrofit to brick building sets, to Lego sets, but generally you end up squishing the wires between the bricks, whereas with these they're actually designed to go in the channels and in the grooves of the pre-designed bricks. So very, very cool. These are pitcher plants, I think, the carnivorous ones. So up here over in our fancy, I did something wrong there. No, I just didn't even put a plate on, so it just needed to be one step higher. Nice. What was I saying? Pitcher plant, carnivorous plants up here on this end. Okay, next bag has us building some more things for inside the greenhouse. This is a little sink. Nice. So that goes over here. And then this is another table, maybe a potting table, or actually, oh gosh. Okay, so we've got these little rings on a sprue. So these make fantastic little tiny pot kind of shapes. That's such a cute shape. Okay, so we've got some, if this kind of feels like a splicing table. Is that the right word? When you get two plants and you kind of splice them into each other? Bit more fancy than I know about plants, but I think that's what it is. And then this is a seedlings rack. So we've got some nice tiny seedlings there with their little floofy green bits going out the top in different shades of green. And then on the bottom, this is a cool way to make a little shelf. Okay, so hold on. Let's get this on first. And then different seedlings on the bottom. Nice. They kind of got a little rounded over top, and these ones are spiky ones. And then this goes on the front to make it look like, the front bit of the shelving. That's very cool. Like a little cupboardy cabinet thing. And on the other side so these are the kind of the hothouse veggies, which here in Australia we just grow these outside. So we've got some chilies, and we have got a trellis for growing tomatoes. We're getting the tomato vines up and around. So we've got some orangey ones, which are not quite mature and ready for eating yet, and then there are some red ones supposed to go on here. I love this. There's so much foliage filling out this whole area. It looks fantastic. Let's get a red one on. There we go. That one's ready for nomming. We can pick that one, put it in the salad. I think I need to put another red one on over here. I've missed that. I got that wrong. The colors are sometimes a little bit hard to distinguish in the instructions, but I like to use the online ones, so it's very probably a me problem with my lighting and stuff. Okay, so we've got our tomato trellis. I don't know what this really vibrant pink and purple bush is, but I love it. What could that be? Tell me, spam me in the comments what that might be. I mean, it's on the vegetable end, right? So yeah, and we've got some more chilies over here, and then on the other side, put my seedlings back in, and now we've pretty much filled out what we can fit into there. So we're getting all of our windows lining up along the sides. I also really like the shape of the Lumibricks windows. Once again, they have got a groove in them and some little serrating, is that the right word? Or what do you call that wavy thing? I don't know, they're kind of wavy so that you can... They not only look nice, but they're also going to give you some areas to put some wires through to if you need to. It's all about hiding the electrical wires. So this is our battery pack. I've put the batteries in. We're going to check our lights. So we've got our little outlets here. Just need to make sure I'm plugging these in the correct way around. The instructions are nice and clear, so even I can't get it wrong. Or can I? Let's find out. We'll see if they switch on when I turn on. So we're connecting along here. I feel like an electrician doing this. No, I really don't. You should never do your own wiring in your house. But it's okay because this is my house that I built. Look at that! The lights are so bright. So we've got two nice big, well, we got one like long bar light. We got one like half size bar light. These are going to be so bright inside the greenhouse, which is going to look so spectacular when I turn the lights down. It's hard to see them on my building table because I have this problem every time. It's always so bright. Yeah, I need to find a way to actually film these better at night so we can see these to their full majesty, because with all the lights on, they look amazing. Okay, so we've got another set of lights over here on the other side. We've got special little bricks that you can just hold those wires in with so that they don't droop down. It's also beautifully designed so that everything gets tucked neatly out of the way. All those wires, they're as invisible as they can be. And this is one of the older Lumibricks sets, and the newer ones actually are even more hidden. Like, I've noticed that I've only built one other one in the art gallery, but it was really hidden, whereas this one seems a little more rudimentary, but it's so cool. Okay, on the front, let's get our wiring out here for that front entryway light, and we've got cladding out the... Seems like I've missed a piece out. Nope, that all gets covered over when we put our cladding on the front. Beautiful white cladding. And then we put our light in to shine over the front door. That looks so cool. Okay, that's cool. All right, and then I just need to make sure I'm putting the wires going along in the correct channels, but even I am getting this right and I'm directionally challenged. So yeah, doing well. Okay, more of these little white bits going along here. Making sure the wires are, yeah, that's supposed to go, no, that bit's supposed to go along here and then back through here. Nice. All right, that's better. Now they're all in the right place. And then this wall actually is designed just to pop directly out so that you can access the greenhouse, not only from the top, but from the back as well. Love it so much. There's so much access to this, and it's just so neat and tidy. Got a little exhaust fan on the inside as well. Okay, this is our first garden bed. So we're working on the outside now. We'll put the roof on the greenhouse in a moment, but we're putting some nice big outside crops down first. So we have got a crop of corn in this garden bed. All it's slight, like these are all the similar build, but there's like a slight variation, so they're at different height stages of growth. And then in front of them are some, I don't know what those are. I'm assuming we're doing some companion planting here, so flowers that go well with corn and also might help keep the bugs off. These are a couple of nice big heads of lettuce ready to be to be picked. Love lettuce. And these, I think, are marigolds, which are also good for keeping pests away as well. They're a good companion plant. Look at me pretending I know stuff about gardens so much. And these are, I know because I looked in the instructions at the front, these are little cabbages, and then they've got a sign that says my happy place, because my absolute happy place is amongst the cabbages and garlic sprouts. Perfect. Cabbage and garlic, my favorite. Put them both together in a soup, and everyone will smell you coming. Okay, we have got a beautiful big garden full of crops. Oh, they're pretty much ready to be picked. What are the purple ones, do you think? Maybe different coloured cabbages? What do you think the yellow one with the crown is? I mean, these are carrots on the outside. They're so cute at their different stages. That's so nice. But I don't know what the other ones are. Maybe I need to learn some more vegetables. Okay, and this is actually just an extra garden bed that you can then interchange with some of the other ones, or just kind of pop it around so that you have it's a bit more filled out everywhere else. And of course we need a trellis over the top, so we're building these with need those on to put the laddery bits on, which make a beautiful trellis. And then these plug in at the back. How cool is that? And then another couple of ladders to go down over here. It all just clips in so beautifully. And then attached on the outside are a couple of little like hanging plants. That's so cute. I'm not sure what the upside down bottle is. I think it might be it's a water feeder for birds. And then on the top of the trellis, of course, we need some climbing plants, like a climbing vine. Got a couple of birds, so two little, I'm going to say they're turtle doves. It's a pumpkin vine. Can you grow pumpkin vines over an upright trellis? Pumpkins are so heavy. That seems insane to me, but the birds are having a good time, so who am I to judge? This is wrong. I've done that incorrectly. That goes on there. Okay, so this is going to be our big V roof, our glass roof for the greenhouse. So let's see how all this goes together, and this is going to be designed not to actually clip into place, but just to rest in place so that you can take it off easily. And of course you need lots and lots of see-through glassy bits because it's a glass house or a greenhouse. You need to be able to let the light in. Okay, so we're getting, this is so big. This is cool. All right, so these then smooth over the top, and then let's put a little bit of climbing foliage on because that comes up from the trellis. How pretty is that? Oh my gosh. All right, that's gorgeous. That looks amazing. Okay, now we get to fill out the outside of the greenhouse because the greenhouse itself is all completely done. So out in the garden itself, just some general foliage, which is nice. This is a spiky plant of some description out here, right out in front of the door. And then this, according to the instructions, is bougainvillea, which I would like. There's such an eclectic group of plants all in this greenhouse or around the outside. Bougainvillea is something that grows very well here in Australia. I'm so glad that we can now get thornless varieties, because when I was growing up they're really nasty if you decide to fall into one, which nobody ever decides to do, but it happens an awful lot. But now you've got thornless bougainvilleas, which is amazing. So I'm going to assume this is a gorgeous thornless bougainvillea, and I'm just trying to figure out where I'm supposed to be putting all of these little bits of pretty foliage. This is so nice. So this goes on here, and then we have to kind of put this on. There are 2 points where I could attach this, and I can't figure out. I think that's it. Is that? I think this is it. So as long as, I don't think it really matters, as long as it looks nice and fleshed out and it fits in the space. Let's get all those bits that I knocked off back on. Okay, all right, that's such a pretty bush outside the greenhouse, and it's just a little bit crazy, which makes me happy. Okay, over here, maybe some piled up pot plants, I don't know. And then we've got a tiny little blue garden bed and a red pot with, no, that's not right. That really is not right. Maybe I'm not supposed to have that. No, the grey bit's supposed to go in a corner. Okay, got it. Okay. And then out the front in our blue garden bed are, I think maybe these might be some more marigolds. So they're filling out that flower bed so nicely. A stack of pots? Nope, it's just, that's just a really cool little flower pot. And a blue one as well. Oh, I love those little white ones. They're just little tiny seedling pots waiting to be filled. And this is maybe a potting table. I'm going to go with this being a pruning and a potting table. That's so cool. Okay, we've got a plant in here. Oh, okay, all right, and we've got a blue garden hose up. Oh my gosh, all right, ready to go. Now, there's still some space here in the front, and there's no empty space on these builds, which is insanely good. Does make it a bit hard to find a place to actually put your characters, but I don't mind. I really like a cluttered build. So we have got a ladder, so we can get up and pick the pumpkins from the top of that trellis. And there's a nice big water barrel underneath. Some pumpkins growing down low as well. How did that pumpkin get up on top of the trellis? That's so crazy. I mean, I know those vines can climb, but that pumpkin, it's going to be a disaster. Got a water trough and a nice yellow bucket, and we need a pump for the water trough as well. That's a really cute pump. Look at that. That's so elegant. Okay, all right, and we just need, was this another trellis? No, We need a birdhouse for the wee birdies that are currently just hanging out homeless on top of the trellis with that pumpkin. They were looking at that pumpkin and eyeing it off and wondering if they could turn it into a home. But no, they have got a little home now, which is so cute. And this yellow, this yellow thing with all of the handles and the cogs and stuff. Do we call them cogs? No, little buttons and stuff. This is the power. What do you call that thing? The generator. This is the generator for the greenhouse electricity, which means we're going to be able to turn these lights on soon. So that goes out here. These get all kind of, just twisted in, and they're not hidden as such, but they are very tidy. And then we attach them to our power pack, to our little outlet here. And then we turn it on. And we see that we've connected everything up correctly and there are lights happening inside. Hold on, let's connect this. Let's put all these where they're supposed to be because everything actually attaches to the build so beautifully. That's so nice. And let's now have a look. So there is a blue light in here as well as the yellow off to one side. Look at that. That's amazing. I love the lights so much. And then I think there was there's the one out the front and there's one underneath this trellis that I forgot to actually attach. So hold on, let's just pop all of these up nice and easy because they're bricks. Okay, so that goes on here and you can angle that to add light to the outside crops. So nice. And then pop everything back down. And now we've got lights. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so good. Look at the blue one inside though. Inside the greenhouse just looks ethereal. It looks real. I just love the lighting so very much. Let's put the lid back on. Lid. I'm pretty sure it's called a roof when it's a building, but you know, what do I know? I love this. Okay, so we can put our back wall back on and look how full it is. There's so much in here. And we've got a little clip so you can actually put your figure onto the ladder nice and comfortably. And we're not finished. There's like this little tiny weeny build at the end. So what else do we need? We need like a wee trolley crate on wheels. I don't quite know. I'm sure there's a real name for this, but I can't think what it is. But we've got little wheels on here and we've got our crate on the top and we have got some pumpkins in here, freshly plucked from on top of the trellis, which is exactly where pumpkins always grow. And we've also got a carrot freshly picked too. This is so cool. It's so full of life. Oh my goodness, I can't open that front door though. So these flowers, there we go. It just takes a little bit of jiggering. The lights just make it absolutely magical. Speaking of magicals, Lumibricks also has a whole heap of steampunk and neon kind of builds, which are not really my style, but they have just released a fantasy village, like kind of inn thing, which is reminiscent of the elves theme, and I think I'm going to need to get it. It just looks absolutely pretty and yeah, magical. I just love the lights so much. Okay, all right, look at all these details in here. That's definitely water for the bird feeder, right? Let's put that back where it was supposed to be. I don't know why I thought that could move out one. Oh my gosh, all right. I am looking for my next Lumibricks build to add to my collection. I think I've started a new obsession. So yeah, this is my second Lumibricks build and I don't think it's gonna be my last. So let me know your thoughts in the comments and I'm gonna go and find out where I can set this up. Oh my gosh, and the lights. All right, I'll see you again soon. I'm off to just flick the lights on and off and stare at them for a while. Bye.